missionaries here with you. They're going to introduce themselves and share what they're doing down there in South Africa. They're very busy, have a lot of things going on, and as they labor down there, it's very important to note we're partners in that ministry. We and other churches like ours, we're not unique, a lot of people involved in this, but we get behind them financially and support the work down there. And so all that goes on down there is something that we have a part of. So as they talk about that ministry and what they're doing and the fruit that they're having, that is something that we share in. You know, it's not just something that someone else has a part in. It's something that we have a part in as well. So we do want to support them financially. We want to support them in our prayers and just pray for fruit as they labor down there. Okay, I'm going to turn the rest of the service over to Dean, if you'll come on up. Wrap it up about a quarter till. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll take this off. Oh, sorry. Good morning. Good morning. It's a blessing to be back here. We came here 3.5 years ago, and it's always a joy to be back and to report what the Lord is doing in the mission field through our family and ministry. Now, some people, they're asking why you are traveling so much and visiting people and churches and reporting what you've been doing in the mission field. Well, first of all, I want you to understand that we are partners. You know, we are working together. The moment you give your offering to the church and the church is giving to us, you are part of our ministry. And we are grateful that we can come here and report what the Lord is doing. I'm going to stand here. We are the Padayhags. My name is Dean. My wife's name is Sheba. She is right there. And we have two kids, Shedea and Shedash. We are missionaries of Things to Come Mission. You probably heard of this mission organization that is based in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we are missionaries to South Africa. Now, that's the continent of Africa with 54 countries. So it's a huge continent, but South Africa is right there on the southern tip of the African continent, facing Atlantic Ocean on the right and Indian Ocean on the left. Now, South Africa has 9 provinces, and we are based in the smallest province of, right here, Gauteng. You've got to use that throat, Gauteng. All right, that is the smallest province in the country, but that is heavily populated because the capital city of Pretoria is there, and the business capital of Johannesburg is also there. Metro Johannesburg has 13 million people, so a lot of people there, and you add to that several millions also in the city of Pretoria. But we have ministries in other provinces nearby. But last 2 years ago, I'm going to remember that 2 years ago because we are in another year now, 2026. But last 2 years ago, we moved down to the province of Western Cape and stayed in the city of Cape Town, right here, right this part. And so we are so blessed to be facing the Atlantic Ocean and Indian Ocean, and our house is just by the beach there. So we are suffering for Jesus. But our goal is to plant churches. You know, we have several churches up here, but we don't have churches down in the coastal areas of South Africa. So we move down here. It's actually 17 hours drive. 17 hours drive away from the central part of our ministry. And we are the only family there that will be starting churches because when we go back to South Africa in June, we are going to start a couple of churches, and I'm going to explain that further. This is Cape Town. This is now a new city for us that is serving as our base. South Africa has 64 million population with 12 official languages. And we have actually 3 capitals. I don't know why, but they decided that they have 3 capitals. Now, this morning, we are going to report to you our ministry within this term. Now, when I mention term, I'm talking about from year 2022 to 2025. Now, I'm not going far all the way to 2005, because 2003, I should say. I went to South Africa March 21, 2003. So I'm not going that far to share to you because I'm only having like 30 minutes to share. But in South Africa, we are working with the organization that we started, and it's called GOMSA, or Grace Outreach Ministries South Africa. That's the organization, that's the umbrella of our ministry, and there are so many ministries underneath this organization. One is our church. And the name of our church is Grace Outreach Church. We love the word outreach because we believe that the grace gospel should not only be enjoyed by the local members, but also really needed to be shared to other people. Obviously, our first ministry is our family, and we have our 2 kids. They are homeschooled. Shidea is grade 9, and Shidesh is grade 6. And pray for them. They are a little bit behind with their studies because we travel a lot. We travel a lot in South Africa and also here in the States. And it's not easy to study while you are traveling. They feel dizzy. But sometimes we give them a little bit of a push because they really have to complete their lessons. Our main mission in South Africa is to plant churches. It means whatever we do is towards planting a local church. We are not just preaching the gospel. We are not just having Bible studies. We are not just giving food or blankets to people during winter time. But whatever we do is towards planting a local church. And we are planting local churches through our Bible schools. Now, we used to be church planters ourselves, and we planted several churches. We started several churches, and we thought planting one church in 3 years, it's very slow. We thought we can do more. So instead of doing the church planting ministries ourselves, we decided that we are going to start a Bible school that will produce more church planters. We have to duplicate ourselves. We have to multiply ourselves in the lives of other people. And that's what we've been doing for quite some time. We have 9 campuses now in South Africa with these G teams, or Grace Theological Education and Ministry School. Now, 3.5 years ago, when we came here, we only had 4 campuses. And so in 3.5 years, we're able to add some more. So we have 9 campuses with these G teams in South Africa. These are the names of the places. But we are grateful that the Lord has enabled us to expand our training program even to the Southeast Asian mission fields. So we have, this is not live, right? So I'm going to mention a couple of places. We have a campus in the Philippines, in Laos, in Vietnam, and we are hoping that we can expand our training program in other mission fields in Southeast Asian countries. But the Lord has enabled us also to expand our training program in Ethiopia and Uganda in East Africa. So while we are enjoying the training program in South Africa, we are also able to expand our work in other mission fields. This was the opening of our Bible school, January of 2022. So our school year starts the second week of January all the way to December 1st week. This was during the opening, and if you notice, we were wearing masks. because that's the time that, there was still COVID. And we decided we keep going even there's COVID. And we had to wear masks because the police officers, they are checking churches if we are following the rules and regulations of COVID. And we want to keep open, and so we don't want to be in trouble with the law. So this was during the opening in 2022, the graduation during that year. Another opening in 2023 of January. And then graduation during that year, December, during our national conference. This was the opening in 2024 of January. And then the graduation during our national conference, December of that year. And this year, or I should say next, or previous year, 2025, now I think I have to kind of get used to another year, right? 2026. I'm sure you are making a lot of mistakes writing documents. You are putting 2025, but I have to make sure that I get it right. This was last year, 2025. January, we had 109 students. It's shocking for us because normally we have 35, 40 students in a regular year, and last year it was just like a lot. A lot because our principals were shocked. I was shocked. We were all shocked. Even our printers got shocked. For some reason, they decided not to print. And we needed more books because we needed to prepare our books for this number of students. But we are grateful the Lord has provided us a new printer. This was just last couple of weeks ago during our national conference. We had 21 graduates, the biggest number of graduates so far in our Bible school. And we had 44 first-year students moving up to second level. And Lord willing, when they survive this year's Bible school classes, we'll have 44 graduates in December. And that would be really amazing. So pray that they will survive the training program, that they will graduate and they can be used for the ministry. This is my wife in our printing office in Kimpton Park in the province of Gauteng. Before we came to the States, we printed books and lessons good for 150 students. And we are hoping that the Lord will provide us that number. But if the Lord will provide us more, we can print more. But we have enough for this school year. Pray for the opening of the school in next week. I should say next week. We are opening G-Teams again. And then we have other ministries that we would like to share. We have more workers that are coming up to our group because of the Bible school. And we planted more churches, and we have more young people coming on board. These are our principals of our schools. They've been very faithful in partnering with us in teaching and training others for the ministry. They are all graduates of our Bible schools. We studied the Bible together. I was the only teacher. When we started the Bible school, I was the only teacher. So I would be teaching from 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 with 1 hour break. And even after 5 o'clock, we are still outside at the parking area discussing about the lessons in the morning. But now they are all graduates, and they are all serving with us through our Bible schools. They are all volunteers. So all our partners, the Bible teachers, the administrators, all the pastors that we have, they are all volunteers. They are volunteering to serve in their local churches as well as in our Bible schools. Now, the principals are assisted by this group of admin officers. They are administrators, and my wife is the head admin in South Africa as well as in our ministries worldwide. This is our church in Boksburg. It's the central church that we have. By the way, we got robbed before we started this church. And we got robbed just a mile away from where the church is located right now. And so when we got robbed, we lost a lot of money. And so we hated that place. So we ran away from this place and moved far away, 1 hour drive away from this place. And we thought, we are not going back there. But then, after some time, the Lord keeps telling us, you have to go there. You have to go back there. And we started with Bible studies, and we kept doing that. And the people said, we need to have a church here. It's like, no, I don't like to start a church here. There's that memory. Every night we keep dreaming of that couple of guys robbing us, and, we don't like it. And sometimes even from time to time we still get that dream of being robbed, and scary. But then I guess we had to pay with that amount to have these people see the grace message, to have a church established in that area. So I think nothing is free in the ministry. We talk about grace and it's free for us. Yeah, but it's never free for God the Father. It cost Him His only begotten Son. It's not free for Jesus Christ. It cost Him His own blood. For Apostle Paul, it's not free for him. I mean, he had to be persecuted and abandoned by his own family and traveled and go. Even he died. Nothing is free. When you know that you're getting something for free, it's free for you, but it's not free for someone. So I think we had to pay a big amount just to see these people. And now they are growing, and from this group, we are sending people to plant churches. This is our new church in Lindilani. Another church that's new in the town of Hammanskral. It is actually a bag factory. A bag for rice and corn and sand for mining. The manager here is a Filipino, and he's a graduate of our Bible school. And while he is studying with our Bible school, he said, I have a place that we can have a Bible study, and I have people also. How about having a Bible study every Thursday in our factory? And so we had to drive 1 hour every Thursday to have a Bible study, drive back home for 1 hour, and then the Bible study became a church, and he graduated, and now he is the pastor of the church. And they just keep on expanding, and they planted another church. Just about 15 minutes away from this congregation, there is now another church. This is a new church in Soshangovi, Extension 2. There's another church that's older, but we are just reporting the new churches that we have planted within this term. Another church that we have that is also new is in Serengeti Farm. It is a farm, and if you notice, there's nothing there except people. We've been asking the owner of the farm if we can put up a tent or a temporary structure, but after a couple of years of asking and there's no permission, you know what it means. There will be no permission there. So, we decided we'll just keep going. There are people there. And so they have a Sunday afternoon worship service in that place. Then we have a new church in Diviton. A lot of kids, right? And it's amazing that these kids, they have grown. And they are now kind of young people. And they are very active in our youth ministry. Then we have pioneering churches. We have new churches, we have old churches, new churches, and pioneering churches. Meaning they are not yet qualified to be called a local church because, we thought there's some kind of standard. I know doctrinally, any gathering of believers, that's a church. But when we talk about our ministry, we thought of a church as a permanent, fellowship, And there are officers there, there are board members running the ministry, and there's a leader there. That's our kind of church. When it is still pioneering, meaning they go there for worship, it's not established yet as a local church. There are no board leaders yet. So this is in a pioneering stage in the town of Alliance, and we are using our tent that we supplied to them as our starting point, and they come there every Sunday. Another pioneering church is in Tamboville. This is like the daughter church of that factory church. They have people and they have a tent, and this guy is the pastor now of this church. So they are kind of progressing towards a local, church. The newest church that we have, or pioneering work that we have, is in the town of Lehi. We just started this last February, last year. So pray that this will continue. Now, this church have a building now. So they are progressing faster because of the pastor there. And they have about 3 pastors or graduates of our Bible schools. This is our youth ministry. Every June 16, we have our national conference. And last year, we had our theme, Holy Wood. Hollywood, right? Yeah, it looks like a Hollywood. Holy Wood, and my wife, she's working actively with the young people and with our youth ministers. And they had a great time talking about the cross. And they had a great time also feeling like celebrities, They got to wear suit and tie and march as if they are on Hollywood, what is that? A Walk of Fame or something. We were there. It's really not very good place. It's like, okay, yeah, okay, thank you. And we also have our ladies' gift, ladies growing in faith together. My wife is very involved with that, and we have a wonderful group of mamas that they love to fellowship together and enjoy their time. And then from time to time, we call our churches nearby, about 2 or 3 churches, and we have our unity worship services. And this is the time that we can get updates of what's going on in the region and get some special music and fellowship together. There's always food there. And so this is a great time to encourage one another. Every December first week is our national conference. This is the biggest event that we have, and this is also the last event in our national ministry calendar. After this, everyone is back to their hometowns and, they visit their families for Christmas and New Year. So during this event, we have our graduation ceremonies and moving up programs. Excuse me. And then we have our Grace TV. Well, it sounds fancy, but it's actually Grace teaching videos. This started during COVID time. You remember that? That we cannot come to the church, and we had to keep going. We had to connect with our people because we planted churches and there were new congregations, and we had to keep in touch with them. So we decided to use our old phone. I had an old phone, and our cell phone network was not that strong, and we had no Wi-Fi at that time. So we were streaming our devotional and our Sunday's message, and it's buffering all the time. And the people were complaining that the videos were blurred and the audio was not good, and they had to wait until that buffering is done. And then there's that couple in the States. This couple, they had a family, and this family, they don't like to go to church. But for some reason, they got hold of our buffering video, blurred video, and they got interested with our message. I don't know why. There were a lot of American pastors preaching during that time, and they got interested to a tiny little Filipino from South Africa. and they love the word, they love the message. And this couple said, you've got to improve your videos and your audio. You've got to upgrade your stuff. And so they donated some money, a good amount of money, so that we can buy a big camera and a good lighting. And we got to buy those monster laptops for editing and streaming. And we got to upgrade the fast Wi-Fi. And we decided that we are going to make a Grace TV ministry, like a full ministry, in addition to our busy schedules already. So, every day we broadcast a 20-minute video. Every 12 noon South African time, it is broadcast live through our Grace TV Facebook page and then uploaded to our Grace TV YouTube channel. And it's like short video, and we know that there are people watching because South Africa is in the middle of the Philippines and the U.S. When it's 12 noon in South Africa, it's 6 o'clock here. And so, people are preparing to go to work, and they have their coffee while watching me having the devotion there. And then in the Philippines, it is kind of dinner time. So people are cooking, and while cooking, they are watching the video. So we are grateful that we have this ministry. And in South Africa, of course, we have our people following. And then, these are my crew. Big one. My wife is doing everything behind the camera. She is doing the editing, the uploading, making sure that I look good. And our kids, they are also involved in all our videos. They are doing the intro and the extra. These are our studios in Cape Town. This is our soul food studio and our Sunday's best. When we are unable to go to other churches, we broadcast live our message from our home or our living room. We also have kids ministry. It's called Kids Growing in Grace. My wife writes lessons that we print, and it is being used in South Africa, Philippines, and other ministries that we have under Things to Come mission. These are some of the lessons that she wrote. I mentioned about the youth ministry. We also have ministries with men. And how's that for the name? Good men. And we hope to be good men. But good means Grace Outreach of dedicated men. We are grateful that we have men that are very active in the ministry now. They are even meeting every week online just to keep going. And we are grateful because in the African context, most of the members of the local churches, they are women. And having men that are stepping forward and taking the ministry forward, it's really amazing. I mentioned about the Ladies' Gift with our women's ministry. We also have ministries with the young professionals. We call it SPF 20+. It sounds like sunblock, right? But it's actually Singles Professionals Fellowship 20+. And then we have our music ministry, Rhythms of Grace. And then we have our community outreach as required by the law in South Africa as a registered organization. And we love it also because it really opens up for the gospel. We are giving out blankets from time to time, food from time to time, and used clothing from time to time. And we use this as a way to prepare the way of the Lord. And the way of the Lord. But it's called Give, or Grace in Various Expressions. Coming up in 2026, this year, we will be in the U.S. until March 22. And then we'll be flying to the Philippines. We'll be there for 3 months to visit our family and at the same time to prepare for our visa application. We are going to apply for our visa, and we are hoping that by June in South Africa, we are going to arrive as planned. And our goal is go straight to Cape Town and plant a couple of churches. So our goal, because we already have Bible studies throughout the city, and we already have a Bible school there. Our goal is by June, we are going to open one church on the northern suburb of Cape Town and one church in the southern suburb of Cape Town. So instead of having an evening service in the same place, we are going to have services in one Sunday. So morning, one church, evening, one church. That's how we are going to work with the church planting so far until we produce a graduate from our Bible school. We just want to share some of our projects for you to pray for us and for these projects. With the growth of our Bible schools, so also are the growths of our needs. Now, we don't have yet a building for our Bible schools. So we are using our churches, we are using garage, we are using community centers sometimes, or daycare center, wherever we can gather our people. We have people, but we don't have buildings yet. So, if you notice this picture here, you think like our students are seated around a round table. No, it's not a round table. It's a trampoline. Imagine that. You're studying the Bible, you're writing your notes, and then it's bouncing. Right? This picture here, you find the students seated in small chairs, kiddie chairs and kiddie tables. And we thought, we have faithful people. But their place of studies, they are not very convenient. And so we thought we'll share these needs to our friends and our churches that are praying for our ministry. And we want to buy them tables, chairs, and whiteboards. You know, at least they feel like that we give them that. At least they can be there and feel comfortable while studying the Word of God and being taught and trained for the ministry. So pray for this project. If you want to give, let us know about that. Another project that we have is our Things to Come mission and GOMSA headquarters. We call it home. This will be our home. If you notice, we have a lot of big events. We have national conferences. We have youth camps. We have regional events. We have leadership summit. All of these national events, we are always looking for a conference center big enough to accommodate us. And this time, the rentals of those places are getting so expensive. And so when the rentals are expensive, we are going to increase our registration fees. And that affects our attendance. And so we thought maybe it's time to build our home, our headquarters, so that everyone will know that when we have a national event, we are going to this place. So right now we are trying to raise $50,000 as a kickstart funds so that we can buy a land, and then if we have leftover from that funds, we can start building this place right away. We are also raising funds in South Africa. Our own people, they have their own initiative to make sure that we partner together to make sure that this home will be established very soon. So pray for this. And then the last project that we have is our car. Now we had a van, 2010 Kia Sedona. Now I'm not promoting a brand, but that car was fantastic. But it's getting older. It had about close to 300,000 on the clock. And there are a lot of things that it's very hard to fix. And every time there's a problem, we had to wait for a couple of weeks, to get parts from South Korea, and it's really getting old and giving us a lot of problem, and we travel a lot. And considering the security issues in South Africa and the criminality going on in the country, the last thing you want to experience is being stuck on the road. And here, when you are stuck on the road, you can call a police or ask people to help. That's not the case in South Africa. If you call a police, you can be robbed by the people you call for help. And after being robbed twice, we know that we have to be very careful who are the people we are going to call for help. So we are praying for a good used vehicle that will be our second home as we travel throughout the country and we feel safe. So pray that the Lord will provide funds for this. We sold our old van, and we probably have about, is that equivalent to 5,000, 4,000, I think, with conversion of rands to dollars. So we need more to get a good one, and just pray for that, that we'll get a good one. If you want to know more of, about our ministry, we have a table outside. Please get some prayer cards before you go home and remember us in your prayers. There are other stuff that you can get there, ball pens and prayer cards and brochures and other stuff that you can kind of look at as you think of the mission work. And I hope that by doing so, you will remember the tiny little Filipinos serving the Lord in South Africa. I will close. It's time now, but just give me a couple of minutes, and I want to make this personal. I went to South Africa with 3-year visa on my passport and $20 in my pocket. There is a very thin line between faith and stupidity, and I was there on that very thin line. I wanted to be a lawyer all my life, and the Lord called me to be a pastor, and the Lord called me to be a missionary, and I never regretted that day that I said yes. Pastor Vernon Anderson, the pioneering missionary of Things to Come mission to the Philippines, at Cebu International Airport, he asked me one question: do you still believe that God called you to be a missionary? And I said yes. And he said, I have $20 for you in case you get hungry at the airport. And that's it. When I arrived in South Africa, I cried for 2 weeks, every night. And he called me one of those nights while crying, and he said, hey, what's going on? I said, I really feel lonely and alone and abandoned, and nobody can understand me. I was kicked out, and I was staying in a garage in a countryside. The restroom is outside. I was staying in a galvanized sheets house. When it's winter time, the water is dripping, and when it's summertime, it's an oven. It's an oven. It's very hot. But having these people now learning grace, and they are serving the Lord and helping us, make the ministry grow and the message to go out. I tell you, it's worth it. It's worth every ounce of strength and every penny that we give to the ministry. But on the other side of our work, we are the sent ones. We are the sent ones. On the other side of our work are people like you. You are giving as a church and as individuals. Some of you are giving individually. Here we are, our work together. And we take pride of all these works. We have a good work ethics. My wife and I, we work day and nights. There were times we preached 5 times a day. Because we are not called by Things to Come mission, we are called by God. And God is calling you on the other side, support and pray. And for that, we are very grateful. Thank you for this opportunity that we can report what the Lord has been doing through our family and through our partnership together. God bless. God bless.